there are some good topics here, and this one is a
Yeah,
good one also. Matt Smith, who I forget, Chris, do you watch House of the Dragon?
I do. I love Matt Smith.
Me too. And he was supposed to be in episode 9. He shot scenes from it, and then they cut it. I don't know if it was Palpatine or whatever it was, but he already had a relationship with Star Wars. He just didn't make the cut. Doctor Who, The Crown, House of the Dragon star Matt Smith is finally joining the Star Wars universe. The actor has been set for one of the multiple villain roles in Shawn Levy's Star Wars Starfighter film at Lucasfilm, which is currently casting side characters to join leading man Ryan Gosling. Levy is looking to cast a female villain for the film. The role that Oscar-winning Honora actress Mikey Madison had been eyed for, Mia Goth, is also linked to the project. Years ago, Smith was rumored to be joining Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, with the actor said to be playing young Palpatine. Original actor Ian McDiarmid ended up returning as Palpatine. When asked about it, Smith couldn't reveal too much, but did dub it a transformative Star Wars story detail that didn't end up making the film. Shooting on the film will take place this fall, ahead of a May 28th, 2027 release. Smith will be seen later this year in Darren Aronofsky's Caught Stealing. So I think, if you're a Star Wars fan and you're a House of the Dragon fan, you're happy about this news. I think it elevates it for sure. I mean, he's perfect for a villain role. Makes me excited to see what the villain role is going to be. We don't know, and the questions will now start to come. Will he be playing a version of whatever the new Sith character is? Is he going to be a Force wielder? Is he going to be an Imperialist? Is he going to be a rogue? Is he going to be, it'd probably be something along those lines. It'd probably be something like the alternate of what Ryan Gosling is. He'll probably be the Dick version, like the real Dick version of that. That seems like what it will be, but I don't know. How do you feel about this casting and what his role could ultimately be?
I'm thrilled about this casting. I love Matt Smith. I first kind of stumbled upon him on this British show called Party Animals, where he was this aspiring political analyst, essentially. And when he became the doctor for Doctor Who, I was stoked. And I had been so bummed that there was this kind of like failure to launch for a little while, where some of his movie choices just weren't hitting. He tried his best in Morbius,
Right.
And so when
he was good in that. The movie was just crap.
Yeah, he showed up for that, and it goes to show you can really do some stuff even when the script is pretty bad.
Right.
But once he got House of the Dragon, I was just so thrilled for him because he's such a wonderful actor. He's so talented, and I think him in Star Wars just makes sense. He plays delicious villains. He really revels in getting to be evil when he has the opportunity. He was in American Psycho, the musical. So he's played some really wacky out there villains. And I think this is a really, really good fit. I'm excited to see what they do with it, particularly with the kind of female villain in there as well. Is this a double-handed act? Do we have Empire and Sith, like you mentioned? I'm pumped about it. He's on a real big rise right now, too, because he's got that movie coming out with Austin Butler that looks killer as well.
It's Caught Stealing, yeah. So I think that it's going to... Yeah, there's another report that it seemed like, Jeff Snyder kind of debunked. He's with a kind of cryptic, just nope. But the report was along the lines of that Star Wars plan was to kind of set up this new universe with this, and then leading into more Rey movies, leading into, more characters kind of coming back. And even though, Jeff says, no, that's not the plan, I think that potentially could make sense in how they're doing that. It could make sense, because if they set this up, you would assume that Shawn Levy is going to set up some stuff, because it is in that era where it's like I think they said 5 years or something after. Maybe longer. I mean, they could
something like that.
They could.
There were those reports of them focusing on single stories as well. But I feel like with Star Wars, you do always have this kind of connective tissue through everything anyway, of what's happening within the galaxy, who the power players are and everything. So I think he'd have to establish a few things to move forward.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to, especially if now there's reports that Rey movie is going to happen, which, I don't know. You would assume that Daisy Ridley's going to show up in a post-credit scene or something in this movie. Something. She's going to show up, because where is she? In the same way that I said, like when it came to Mandalorian season 2, I'm like, the only one that makes sense that would find this kid is Luke. He's the most powerful Jedi. It's got to be Luke, and it was Luke, because that made the most sense. It makes sense if she's out there, and if there is Force elements, it could be a separate story all together. It has nothing to do with what Rey is doing, nowhere near her Jedi Academy, none of that. But it would behoove them to set up it a little bit to go, oh, that's what's going on over there. Show me that story.
Yeah.
Just a tease. And then that makes us care a little bit more about what the hell's going on. Because if they do that, I don't know. I would rather them just make this whatever Starfighter, his pilot, and his apprentice are going through this kind of Star Wars adventure, and you don't have to necessarily have the Force and those other things inside of it, but they shouldn't ignore the history.
I agree.
Yeah. So I ask you guys, what do you think about this? What do you think about Matt Smith coming in to play a villain? Put your thoughts in there. Let us know.
The other day someone asked me, how do you still eat well if you're really busy and you don't have the time? Yeah, I'm telling you, you got a busy schedule. You got all the summer plans going on. What do you have at best? A couple of minutes? Factor really has helped me eat smarter. It's got the tasty chef prep meals. They're dietitian approved, delivered right to my door. And now the best part is they have more than 65 weekly meals. It's made for how I live right now, what I like to eat. I've gotten more ways to get fit with a real meal wherever the day takes me, and they really zone it to what your preferences are. There's more variety. There's more meals. You can choose for a wider selection of weekly meal options, including premium seafood choices, salmon, shrimp. Salmon's delicious at no extra cost. Shrimp's great too, by the way. I just love the salmon. You can savor global flavors. So for the first time, you can try the Asian-inspired meals with bold flavors influenced by China, Thailand, and more. From more choices to better nutrition, that's why 97% of customers say that Factor helped them live a healthier life. You can feel the difference no matter your routine. I've been doing it. You should do it too. I'm telling you, I love Factor. I've talked about it the other day. Someone asked me about it. I was raving about it. We didn't even have a spot on the show. And I was talking about how much I love Factor. So you can eat smart at factormeals.com/Kristian50off, but use that code Kristian50off. Get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. That is the code Kristian50off at factormeals.com for 50% off plus free shipping. Get delicious, ready to eat meals delivered with Factor.